announcements. If you need to speak with someone in particular about the tickets that go out on sale February 11th, please let us know. And look, just come out, be ready to have a good time. We're going to provide a great atmosphere in Pearl, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank y'all. Tonight, before we move into the consent agenda, public hearing, and also general business, I'm going to have our EOC director and our fire chief, Brad Thornton, come up and speak to the board as well as the citizens about COVID-19 and give some of our citizens an update. Tomorrow, I will provide additional updated information through P&B broadcast, but I wanted the fire chief to be able to speak specifically to some of the measures that he's seeing on his side of things.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mayor, Alderman. Thank y'all for letting me be here to speak. What I want the public to know is, number one, I believe the city of Pearl is more than well prepared to handle the worldwide pandemic that's going on right now. Although we are seeing some different responses from the fire and the police that we've never seen before, that these are all well designed not only to protect the firemen, the policemen, but also the citizens of the city of Pearl. So we've changed the way we respond a little bit. We're using more precautions. Dispatchers are using more questions up front to try to get as much information from any of these possible patients or confirmed patients to the COVID-19. you know, the fear is that this thing continues to spread, and then you start losing first responders. And so we've taken some drastic measures to make sure that that doesn't happen. I'm very confident in our plan. I'm confident the city of Pearl is going to be fine, that we're going to survive this. We're going to make all the necessary changes that everybody's recommended, from Department of Health to CDC, to make sure that we come out very good on the backside of this. I just want to remind everybody to follow those recommendations right now. You know, President Trump issued a plea yesterday for everybody to still continue social distancing for the next 15 days. Limit much time as you can out in the public. Work from home if you can. Maintain good hygiene and good wellness for yourself. And the professionals believe that we can get ahead of the curve of this thing, that we can slow the spread down. You know, this should slow some of the panic down, and we can see that on the backside of this, we can all get back to some sense of normalcy. But please understand that the City of Pearl's first responders are well prepared, they are equipped, and we're ready to respond to any emergency, including COVID-19 emergencies. Anybody got any questions?
Anybody, any questions for the chief?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Approval of consent agenda items. All items under this heading will be considered to be approved with one motion and one vote. If further discussion is desired on any item, it will automatically be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered as a general business item.
What's the pleasure of the board?
So moved. Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. There's no public comment this evening. Moving on to public hearing at this time.
Number one, consider request by King LLC for a dimensional variance to allow a 1,200 square foot house instead of 1,500 square foot as required by the Code of Ordinance at 524 Sardis Street, Pearl, Mississippi 39208.
Yes, Randy King's requesting to build a 1,200 square foot home that is equivalent to the other homes in the area. I would recommend this variance be granted.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Is anyone here to speak in opposition to that this evening? If not, would anybody consider a motion to, for this recommendation? Second. There's two motions on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
General business number one, consider an order to adopt an ordinance amending the opening time for regularly scheduled meetings to 6 p.m. effective immediately at the next meeting scheduled for April 7th, 2020, and all regularly scheduled meetings thereafter.
Consideration by the board for a motion.
Second.
There's two motions on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Number two, consider an order to adopt COVID-19 emergency administrative leave policy for the City of Pearl.
Before we consider any motions from the Board of Aldermen, I would like our city attorney to speak about this for a moment and just give our citizens some knowledge of what this policy means for the City of Pearl.
Basically, the mayor yesterday and the board tonight, the state, nation, and now the city is in the state of an emergency. And as such, and at the advice of the AG's office and the auditor's office, there has to be a plan put in place in order to pay certain employees or employees that are affected or that are deemed affected. And this policy is just, it's good to have in place, so if there is any need or there's a circumstance that the city or any employee of the city is placed in, this will allow us to continue operation. This will allow us to continue to pay them as needed.
Any questions by the Alderman?
I'll make a motion.
Second. There's two motions on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on, before we adjourned this evening, we had a beloved lady within our community by the name of Ann Bush that recently just passed away. And in honor of her tonight, we wanted to adjourn in her memory. Alderman Gill and Alderman McHenry has requested this. So in light of this dear lady passing tonight, would someone please make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second. All right, two motions on the floor. We'll be praying for this family as they move forward. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, this meeting's adjourned.